This is QTV News. I am Mamadou Gajaga and thanks for joining us. First, the main local international sports news headlines. In the local news, representatives of different security institutions and partners have met to review the draft constitution on security-related provisions. A forum to discuss how to better improve the existing relationship between political parties and the media was recently organized by the Gambia Press Union. A 3-day training course on early warning for youth and regional structures, organized by the West African Network for Peacebuilding, ends on Friday. The community of Fas Njagachoy is rejoicing with the inauguration of a new maternity ward sponsored by a UK charity. In international news, today, the 6th of March, is Ghana's 63rd Independence Day. We take a look at the first sub-Saharan African nation to declare its independence. Those were the main headlines, and now the news in detail. Thanks for joining us. Representatives of different security institutions and partners have met to review the draft constitution on security-related provisions.
Participants will use the 2 days to discuss provisions in the draft constitution on the work and mandates of the security institutions in the country. The meeting is supported by the British High Commission and facilitated by the Geneva Center for Security Sector Governance, DCAF, which is currently implementing a program supporting the security sector reform process in the Gambia, funded by the European Union. Ponso Nyasi, DCAF's interim country head in the Gambia, says DCAF continues to support the ongoing security sector reform.
Achieving that, we are very keen and interested. In SSR, we are trying to continue with the engagement and purposefully we are trying to review the position paper we've submitted, and achieving that, we have given a lot of recommendations in that position paper, which obviously we have the view that not all of that may likely be taken on board in the Constitution. But then if that happens to be the case, because as of now we are yet to have it officially, the next draft from the CRC, we are saying if that happens to be the case, what do we do? What are some of the possible next steps?
Mamadou Badji, National Security Advisor, said the draft constitution is very important to the security institutions as it clearly defines what the rules and mandate of the security institutions are.
It is widely recognized that the Constitution is likely to play a critically important role in that it will be defining our rules, our mandates, powers, and oversight mechanisms of the security sector, and eventually and invariably it will help to shape the priorities and work for security institutions.
At the end of the meeting, participants are expected to come up with a position paper addressing their concerns and issues in relation to the draft document. Last year, the Constitutional Review Commission published its draft document, which is currently going through another public consultation. The CRC is mandated to review and develop a new constitution that truly represents the views and aspirations of majority of Gambians. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliou Cisse.
A day-long forum with all the registered political parties in the country was organized on Thursday by the Gambia Press Union to discuss how to better improve the existing relationship between political parties and the media. Amadou Oba has the rest of the story.
The forum brought together political parties, senior media practitioners, inter-party committee, journalists and representatives of the Independent Electoral Commission (IEC). It is designed to serve as a platform to engineer better understanding of the role of the media in enhancing democracy. The event is part of the GPU's efforts to promote the safety and security of journalists, particularly in sensitizing the political parties on the role of journalists. Lamin Jahate, Program Manager, Gambia Press Union, says the platform will help clear any suspicion or differences between journalists and political parties.
Political parties are not just instruments of governance, but they are a government in waiting. So for that being the case, we think it is very important that, and now that they are the one perpetrating the attack, we think it is very important that we engage them in a dialogue. So we come back to the drawing board and discuss as a family so that the suspicion that is usually there between the media and journalists is erased, so that at the end of the day, we can come to a common understanding to know what is the role of the next person. The politician would have better understood the role of the media, and the media would have better understood maybe the dilemma of the political parties. Together, we can work together for the development of the country.
Mr. Jahate further emphasizes the role of the media and journalists, saying he expects political parties not to see journalists as enemies.
The media is not an enemy. The media is not in support of any political party. So if they are independent in telling your truth, that doesn't mean they hate you. It just means they are doing their job. Tomorrow you may see them doing the same thing to the next political party. You should not just know that by that time, the particular media or journalist is doing his or her job at that time.
Kemo Bojang, the National Secretary General of the UDP's Youth Wing, commends the GPU for organizing the forum and hopes that it is the beginning of many engagements for the development and peace of the country. He adds that the forum complements the UDP's quarterly training for their supporters at regional and constituency levels.
Journalists, being people that are doing their job, need to be given that space where they could flourish and give people information. We have realized that people come on and attack journalists, and when they don't cover your events, you rather come and complain. So we need to be able to create that environment for them. We need to be able to help them do their job the way we want them to do and the way it should be done.
Dudu Jah, Deputy Spokesperson and Secretary General of the APRC, condemns attacks on journalists, describing them as brothers and sisters. He says the misunderstandings are usually caused by media workers who have no background and ethics of journalism.
That the relationship between the media houses personnel and the political parties would be smooth, and there will be great improvement. These are my expectations. That's why I said I challenge them. Let it not stop at this workshop, but to make it a continuous process in engaging political parties.
In its analysis of the Press Freedom Environment Report for 2017-2019, the Gambia Press Union estimated that 5 journalists had been violently attacked during the execution of their work. According to a report in the Point newspaper, attacks on media have already increased to 9 since 2017. Stakeholders expressed optimism that with a continuous engagement in these and similar platforms, there can be a free and peaceful space for both the media and political parties to work for the common good, respecting their different interests in exercising their responsibilities. For QTV News, I am Amadou Oba.
A new maternity ward has been inaugurated in Fas Njagachoy in the Lower Nyomi district by a UK-registered charity. Help for Education and Local Projects in the Gambia in collaboration with the Village Development Committee. The story by Lamin Dabo is narrated by Amadou Oba.
The construction of the maternity ward was initiated by the Village Development Committee, who laid the initial foundation. Helping then took over and completed the project by investing over $700,000 to complete the facility, which is expected to cater for 19 communities. At the inauguration ceremony, our Bojang, a women's representative, thanked Helping and explained some of the challenges faced by the clinic.
The facility has no ambulance, which also make delays and may cause death. The other issue is the facility also don't have laboratory services, which can also cause another delays and may cause life, because if we do send to SL for laboratory to find out or make some investigation.
The deputy chairman of Helping's board of directors, Babukar Nyang, explains the significance of the maternity ward and also the charity's future plans.
The type of maternity of such is only in SL, therefore it will offload the work of SL, and people will now, instead of everybody going to SL, they will now be moving into FAS, and it will reduce that and also have improve the access to health facilities for women as well. We are thinking of having another outpatient building which will cater for more people and even have admission. And also in the future we are thinking of having a laboratory center.
Rosemary Woodall, a Helping Committee member, says the successful completion of the maternity ward came as a result of efforts by both Fas Njagachoy, VDC, and Helping Charity Foundation. She further explains some of the foundation's humanitarian activities.
It's been a privilege to be here. I'm a retired head teacher from England. Children are in my heart, and they are in the heart of the Helping Charity, who work tirelessly to raise money in the UK to support nurseries around the FAS area and surrounding villages, employing the teachers, providing provisions, and also sponsoring children so that they can be educated.
The Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Health, Muhammadu Lamin Jaite, says the construction of the maternity ward is a clear manifestation of complementing the Health Ministry's efforts and that his ministry will endeavor to help communities with their healthcare needs.
It is going to go a long way in supporting the health sector objectives, in facilitating the access to healthcare services within the communities. And we just want the community to bear with the government to be able to see, as part of the current reforms that are going on, to see what help that can be put here.
The solar water system installation at the clinic was kindly sponsored by Ripon Rotary and Inner Wheel. Helping was formed by Chris and Margaret Meeks after they visited the Gambia on holiday in 1998. During their trip, they visited local schools and saw children packed into overcrowded classrooms, sharing pencils and sheet of paper, learning to write by copying out words, erasing them, then passing the paper to the next child. Helping Charity Foundation has also provided sponsorship to over 400 students in the Gambia, out of whom 100 students are from Fas Njagachoy. This scholarship targets hardworking students from poor and underprivileged families. For QTV News, I am Amadou Oba.
We will go with a short commercial break, and when we come back, we find out the importance of training Gambian farmers on stock management. Join us after the break for these stories, international news, sports news, and more.
Oh yes! QCell has exhausted the number 3 series, the 50, 51, 52 and 53 number series. We are expanding and introducing another new number series starting with 58 and 59. With the 58 and 59 numbers, you can call any QCell number for the same on-net charges. You get the same great service at the exact same charges offered to numbers in the 3, 50, 51, 52 and 53 series. The family is even bigger now. For more information, call customer care on 111. QCell, we innovate, others follow. Right time, right place, right price. Promote your product, business and brand to millions of viewers nationwide or across the globe. Call QTV Marketing on 32-44444 or email us at marketing@qtv.gm for all your advertisement needs. QTV Gambia, right place.
Welcome back and thanks for joining us. This is QTV News. Training on stock management for Gambian farmers was organized on Wednesday by the National Coordination Organization for Farmers Association in the Gambia, in partnership with the Regional Network for Peasants and Producers Associations of West Africa. Aliou Cisse has more on this story.
Post-harvest losses have been and continue to be a major concern for Gambian farmers. They have long complained about inadequate or lack of good storage facilities for the safekeeping and preservation of their produce for the market. This training is facilitated by African VAT, supported by National Seed Secretariat and representatives of the World Food Programme under the School Feeding Programme. Organizers are hoping the outcome of the training will contribute to increasing the knowledge of the participants. Njaga Jao, a board member of NACOFAC, says safeguarding seeds mark the beginning of a successful agricultural production.
When cereals or grains or vegetables are properly stored and managed, we all know what it can do. It can help us fetch better markets, and it can help us have better health. Because when seeds or food or agricultural produce is well stored, is well managed, then it can become safe food for human consumption.
Musa Sow, president of NACOFAC, says the aim of the training is to make market better for farmers and to give them the opportunity to make decisions on when, where and how they sell their produce.
We also have a lot of challenges with regards to the way we store our produce. Because one, we may not know the fact that under which humidity or temperature that is required for a particular stock. And how do we also prevent pests and diseases is also important. But again, in stock management and post-harvest management, they need to look at how we do our sorting, how we do our cleaning, under what environment do we also need to improve our seeds and cereals. Because one thing also we have to understand, in order for us to really ensure food security, there is need for us to see how we can manage our stocks, how we can coordinate our stocks, how we do even transport our stocks to the market.
So urges the attendees to share the knowledge gained with their fellow farmers, adding they are working closely with the Minister of Agriculture. Kausu Kante, NACOFAC's focal point for the project, Ajan Nanding Jabi, a store manager, and trainer Ibrahim Watraf all stressed the importance of the training, as under the project, NACOFAC plans to map out 50 stores, out of which 25 representatives will be trained on store management. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliou Cisse.
The first phase of the Digital Terrestrial Transition DTT project was recently launched by the Information Ministry and partners. Amadou Oba attended the event, and this is his report.
As a signatory to the International Telecommunications Union's Geneva Agreement, ITU, the Gambia is switching from analog to digital terrestrial television. The migration will usher in the possibility of more channels to accommodate new television stations. ITU guidelines stipulate a June 2020 deadline for digital migration. At the launch, Dominic Mendy, Chairman, Board of Directors, Digital Gambia Limited, implored Gambians to embrace DGL as their own, describing the evolution as successful.
With Digital Gambia operating full swing, the burden of setting up signal stations across the country will become history, as DGL will enable all players launch their products on the same platform for local and international signal distribution beyond the horizon. All these are geared towards making life better for the Gambian people.
Abdou M.K. Toure, Director General of GRTS and Overseer of DGL in the Gambia, underscores the impact the digital migration will have in the country and for service providers.
It will avail Gambians both within and outside the country have unfettered access to a variety of information services with the highest sound and picture quality, as well as avail content providers the leverage to dispense their production techniques and ingenuities through access to multiple channels. This in turn will lead to greater liberalization of the broadcast industry, where customers will be served with excellence and satisfaction.
Falle Kante, Managing Director, XCAF, speaks about the project's infrastructure and services, noting that 80% of Gambia's population have access to the DTT signal.
The latest generation of the DTT infrastructure have been built. We call it the monitoring center. And 6 transmitting sites as on the plan: Abuko, Kanilai, Masakonko, Basse, Kudang, and Bansa. Currently, Abuko and Kanilai are ready.
Ibrahim Asilla, the Minister of Information, Communication and Infrastructure, says the digital migration complements the government's National Development Plan.
It will support the achievement of the goals of Critical Enabler 5 of our National Development Plan, NDP, which is making the Gambia a digital nation and creating a modern infrastructure and information society. Hence, digital migration remains a priority for my ministry, the Ministry of Information, Communication, Infrastructure, and by extension, the government of the Gambia. Besides, the DTT will create a lot of avenues for employment creation, especially for our young people through the sale, installation, and maintenance of the set-top boxes in all the regions across the Gambia.
The official handing over of the DTT documentation from the Director of XCAF to the Minister of Information was followed by a conducted tour of the Digital Television Call Center and Network Operating Center. The $4 million project under XCAF Telecom will be handed over to Digital Gambia Limited after 8 years of operations. For QTV News, I am Amadou Oba.
In international news, today the 6th of March is Ghana's 63rd Independence Day. In honor of the first sub-Saharan African nation to declare its independence from colonial rule in 1957, we look at Ghana's freedom that sparked a wave of decolonization throughout the African continent. Ansumana Esonyasi reports.
Ghana gained independence on 6th of March 1957 after Pan-African hero Kwame Nkrumah declared the country's independence. Ghana became a Commonwealth Republic on 1st July 1960 with Nkrumah as the country's first president.
There is a new African in the world. That new African is ready to fight his own battle and show that after all, the black man is capable of managing his own affairs.
Nkrumah was deposed in a coup in 1966, heralding years of mostly military rule. In 1981, Flight Lieutenant General Rawlings staged his second coup. The country began to move towards economic stability and democracy. In April 1992, a constitution allowing for a multi-party system was approved in a referendum, ushering in a period of democracy. A well-administered country by regional standards, Ghana is often seen as a model for political stability and economic reform in Africa. Ghana is the world's second largest cocoa producer, behind Ivory Coast, and Africa's biggest gold miner after South Africa. It is one of the continent's fastest growing economies and has made major progress in the attainment and consolidation of growth. Significant progress has been made in poverty reduction. In fact, Ghana is the first country in sub-Saharan Africa to achieve the Millennium Development Goal 1, which is the target of reducing extreme poverty by half, and it has recently become a middle-income country. Over the last decade, Ghana has enjoyed increasingly stable and deepening democratic governance. 4 successful elections in 2000, 2004, 2008 and 2012 have strengthened the effectiveness of key national institutions, enhanced investor confidence, and anchored the new economy in an environment for positive growth. Ghana enjoys a high degree of media freedom, and the private press and broadcasters operate without significant restrictions. From Tamale in the north to the capital Accra in the south, Ghanaians celebrate their freedom with street parties and parades, not only confined within Ghana's borders, expanding Ghanaian communities around the world enjoy in the rivalry as well. In 2019, Ghana set the year as Year of Return, welcoming home descendants of enslaved Africans 400 years after the transatlantic slave trade started. We wish all Ghanaians, especially those residing in the Gambia, a happy independence anniversary.
And now in sports news, Real de Banjul maintained their lead on the top of the GFF League standings after a 2-1 victory against Gambia Ports Authority. There were many controversial decisions in first day's match at the Banjul Mini Stadium. More in this report. A well-taken cross from a corner kick by Abdoulaye Ka, headed into his own net by Sek Manka, sealed top spot for Real de Banjul in the league. The boys in white took the lead in the first minute of the game as Kajali Drame's delivery near the corner area beat Alaji Nyabali. Gambia Ports Authority responded with high intensity, passing with flair. Their playmaker Keba Mane, who could have been on the score sheet at least twice, delivered a shot from a corner, and Real de Banjul defender Abdoulaye Ka headed the ball into his own net, giving Ports Authority an equalizer. The game was of course not without controversy. GPA's Keba Mane appeared to have been brought down in the box, but referee Lamin Jammeh wasn't interested in the penalty appeal. What would be more shocking to the Ferry boys was Sek Manka's disallowed goal, ruled out for handball. The Gambia Ports Authority coach, Sek Adama Juve, says too many refereeing decisions have gone against them so far this season.
Of course, it's a penalty. Everybody saw that. And we even scored a goal, which was disallowed, and it was never a handball, but the referee blows. That's why I say maybe it was unfortunate.
But you're going to prepare better for the next match?
Of course. We will always prepare better and come back strongly. And like we see since the beginning of the season, we have been treated like that. We always have this, I don't know why, but we always have these chances whereby we couldn't get it. If we have a penalty, they didn't give it to us. If we score a goal, they say no. If we created a penalty, so I don't know.
Both Real de Banjul goals came from set-piece situations, and their winner was an own goal. This was how their coach Ibu Jara reacted when asked about his side's performance.
From a pundit's point of view, yes, probably out of nothing. From a tactician, I believe it came from set pieces, and we were good in that. Today, Lady Luck smiled for us, and we scored 2 clean goals. No dispute about that. So we are happy with the 2 goals that we scored. Unfortunately, we had to find our own net in Abdoulaye Ka, who has done very well for us. And as you saw, that he also gave another assist. So yes, it came out of something.
Real de Banjul are on top with 25 points after 12 games. Gamtel is second with 22 points. There is one more game to be played before the league break, marking the end of the first round. Mamadou Gajaga, QTV News. Before we end this bulletin of the news, let's take a quick look at our main news stories. Representatives of different security institutions and partners have met to review the draft constitution on security-related provisions. A forum to discuss how to better improve the existing relationship between political parties and the media was organized by the Gambia Press Union. A 3-day training course on early warning for youth and regional structures, organized by the West African Network for Peacebuilding, ends on Friday. The community of Fas Njagachoy is rejoicing with the inauguration of a new sponsored maternity ward. In international news, today, the 6th of March, is Ghana's 63rd Independence Day. We take a look at the first sub-Saharan African nation to declare its independence. That's all we have for you in this bulletin of the news. Thank you very much for watching and have a pleasant night.